Welcome back to my channel, Pattern of Good Works. My name is Donna, and I have the distinct pleasure of sharing information with you regarding the specialty of rehabilitation nursing. So today we are actually going to be taking a look at ARN, and ARN stands for the Association of Rehabilitation Nurses. We're going to be in the book on page number 5, and the book that we're referring to is The Specialty Practice of Rehabilitation Nursing, a core curriculum, the 8th edition. And on page number 5, it really goes into talking about how ARN was established. So it says in 1974, a group of nurses understood that they needed to come together. They needed to establish their practice, and they organized. And under the leadership of Susan Novak, they began ARN. And what ARN would do is so revolutionary. They would begin by looking at the standards of practice, outlining the scope of practice. They also identified the need for certification, and that's what you're doing. The CRRN examination is regarding certification. They also went about looking on investing in the research arm of ARN. They also looked at establishing individuals going to Capitol Hill to ensure that legislation that benefited our patient groups, those who were disabled, were acknowledged and also allowed to go through the process to become a law. So the competency model for professional rehabilitation nursing application to practice, which you will find on page 13, talks about how the ARN structured their model of competency. And it looks like a wheel along another wheel, and in the center there's another wheel. So it's 3 circles. It has been updated over the years. So the most updated competency model specifically has 4 domains. And the 4 domains are domain 1, which is nurse-led interventions. The second domain is the promotion of health and successful living. Domain 3 has to do with leadership, and domain 4 has to do with interprofessional teams. And then it also is broken down even further to, for example, domain 1 has 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, 1.4, and 1.5. So all of these help to support, all of these domains really help to provide a framework. And what the framework is really doing is defining the skill and knowledge requirements of the job. So every rehab nurse are performing under these specific domains. The 4 domains are really the structure of what we do all day, every day. And under the domains, there's another segment or another piece, I want to say, with the 3 levels of competency, and also proficiencies can be identified when using the model based on Benner's level of competence. And Benner is a nurse theorist. Dr. Patricia Benner set up clinical competence, and she looked at novice, advanced beginner, competent, proficient, and expert. And how it really tracks is it looks at the skills acquisition, and it also looks at the reflective practice. So, for example, at a beginner level, nurse 1 to 2 years of experience, they are considered possibly to be a novice. An intermediate nurse has 3 to 5 years of clinical experience. At that point in time, a nurse who would be interested in sitting for the CRRN exam could do so. And then we have advanced nurse, which is 5 or more years of experience. And those specifically are like nurse practitioners, the wound care nurses are advanced nurse practitioners, any clinical nurse specialists, educators, as well as researchers. So why do we need to know this? Because everyone has something important to bring to the table. On page 26, it talks about the beginner nurse provides basic nursing information to the team and collaborates with other team members, recognizing the diversity of roles and each member's contribution to the team is going to help overall the patient's level of care, right? So just because someone is a novice nurse, we don't, say, oh, go away, you're a novice nurse. No, they have fresh eyes coming out of nursing school. They can also be very impactful to the team and help to move different clinical projects along because most of them are very innovative. They're very used to technology because of the programs that they've been through. They have simulation labs, so they have a value to the team as well. The seasoned or the expert nurse for sure has a lot of clinical experience to share with the overall team. So all along the continuum of learning, we are all there to help one another to grow and expand their knowledge. So ARN has been so innovative and revolutionary, and they established also the core curriculum, the book that we're utilizing, in 1981, 44 years ago. So they've been on track, becoming stronger and better each year. So we are in a good position. We are learning and growing and helping each one, teaching one, and also helping our patients as well as the caregivers to ensure that their quality of life is better. So I'm so grateful that you are coming along and continuing to learn more and more about the CRRN examination and becoming stronger in your professional practice and more knowledgeable to help your specific patient population. I want to thank you for listening, and we wish you well. Take care, and bye-bye.